Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you again for joining me for another video. As always, a free way you can support the channel is by hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into this. Why, oh why, do I have the app that shall not be named opened on my screen right now? I apologize. I woke up this morning and I saw, what was the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning? I check the price of Gamestop, not gonna lie, and just see how we're doing. And the second thing I do is probably go to our GME and read some due diligence. And so I woke up this morning and the reason why I have this app open is just, it's so funny how dramatic they make things pre-market. It's like, you look at Gamestop at the top of the screen there, it's like, whoop, all the way down. And then you see it in comparison to Tesla, to SPY. Let's see what else we can see here, to other things. The Dow, everything else is so green. Look at all that green there. And you see GME down. And the reason why I have this open right now is not to trigger any of you, but to point out, again, watch my video from last week where I talk about GME's beta, their negative beta. And what you'll see is this inverse correlation. The stock market does well, GameStop does poorly. GameStop does well, the stock market does poorly. It's insane right now, because what should normally happen is that the beta score should be 0 and it shouldn't be able to go below 0. But GameStop, last I checked, had a negative beta score of 23, like beta score of negative 23. That's insane. I have never seen anything like that. And we're seeing that play out right now. All sorts of green. This is just my watch list, all sorts of green here. And then you look at GameStop and it's red. It's unbelievable. And it's clear to me. This is a clear indicator that the game is still on, that the mother of all short squeezes is still set to happen. When, how, I don't know, but the day is coming and it's going to be wonderful. So I wake up, I see the price of GameStop. I see it got down as low as 160 from what I saw. And then my next thought is, well, I'm going to check out RGME and see what's happening on RGME. And oh my goodness, RGME. Let me exit this post here. What is going on RGME? I've gotten a gist of it, but I woke up this morning and I saw a post on RGME explaining that Rensole and Chess Queen, two moderators of RGME, had been removed. And now I get back on RGME and I don't see that post there. I'm like, what is going on? They made that post. RGME is imploding right now. I mean, look at this. Some Rensole's post got removed by the same power-hungry mod that he criticized. This sub is officially compromised. And drama. Total breakdown of what you were seeing in RGME happened exactly what happened in January with RWSB during the first gamma squeeze. Mods removed, users turning on users. There's some connection with WSB. Maybe I'll talk about that later. I don't need the mods. I don't need this sub or anyone else. I only need GME. This is, oh man. Do you have your popcorn ready? This is drama. Of course. And so I check Rensole's posts every day before I make my videos. Sometimes I take nothing from what he says. Sometimes I take some things for sure. There's sometimes I glean what he says and I make revisions. But I appreciate Rensole. I have no problem with his posts. Why would I? But I decided, I follow Rensole on Twitter, as many of you should, 21.1K followers. And so he posts first on RGME regarding Rensole no longer being a moderator. And what do we see here? Oh, the post has been removed by the moderators of RGME. Very, very interesting. Oh, and the comment section has been locked. New comments can't be posted. So then I see on his Twitter account that they created a new subreddit called Super Stonk. And I joined and I saw Rensole's synopsis. So Super Stonk is already at 1/5 the size of RGME, so maybe it'll be the new RGME. It's funny to keep up with this. I'm sure there's even a subreddit called r subreddit drama, and so I'm sure that this is featured in there. I haven't been to that subreddit in years, but all right, he gives a synopsis. He was put in a position where he was forced to resign as a moderator. Here's the gist of it, and even if you don't know the gist of it, I have some unique perspectives here that I think will be helpful in understanding the psychology of what happened with Rensole and with Warden Elite, who was also removed, and with the other mods. So stay tuned for that, but if you don't know what happened with Rensole, here's the gist of it. He confronted another mod about just being ban happy, about being power hungry. I don't know anything with the background of that. I don't know how legit that is, but I would guess that is a thing. People get in positions even on internet forums where they have some semblance of power and they abuse that power. That's just a part of the human psyche. And so he confronted this mod. The mod didn't respond to him, which rightly, I think, would cause Rensole to be suspicious. Like, okay, this mod's not getting back to me. He's most likely not scheming, but instead of being a man and talking directly man to man, computer to computer with Rensole, he's talking with the other mods about how much of a prick Rensole is. Something like that probably happened. And so Rensole's getting suspicious. He got removed as a mod of the Discord server. I'm not on the Discord server, so I don't see any of this stuff. And so then he sent a message to everyone. And according to Rensole, he thought that was just he was messaging the mods, but instead he messaged everyone on the Discord server and caused an absolute firestorm. Oh man, I shouldn't be laughing about this. I really feel for Rensole and for the people involved. But yeah, the fact that he didn't know that messaging everyone would literally message everyone, I just thought that was hilarious. And so yeah, that caused a firestorm. And then that led to his being removed. Now, here's the thing that I really want to talk about, and here's the thing that I have personal experience with. So let me just read this complaint from the GME mods to Rensole. So they were claiming I was a bad team player, which a case could certainly be made for. I appreciate that perspective from Rensole. But he goes on, that I was self-aggrandizing, which I don't agree with, and saying I was doing things for self-serving purposes, which, again, I don't personally see. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of exception to this, and here's why. If you watch the first ever video that I did on this channel, where I had no idea what I was doing, but I made a video talking about how I made $150,000 in a 5-month period with a Facebook page. And I make the point in that video that social media followings are very attractive money-making opportunities. And so either Rensole doesn't realize that having 21.1 thousand Twitter followers is a good thing for him as far as his bottom line is concerned. Warden Elite, absolutely, he certainly sees that, because he has something similar to a Patreon page set up where there are plenty of people who have donated to his cause so that he can get passive income and make GameStop updates every day. So Warden Elite sees it. Maybe Rensole doesn't see that, but I wouldn't be surprised if he realizes that the having 21.1 thousand Twitter followers, and especially now that he's kind of been set up as a martyr, that he can turn that into life-changing income. I'm not exaggerating. He can turn that into life-changing income. That $150,000 that I made in 5 months as an owner of a Facebook page that had nothing to do with me as far as the content was concerned. It was pretty much a meme page. That was just scratching the surface. I made much more money than that over periods of time. I was able to put a link to a clickbait website in front of people, and I made upwards of $2,000 per post. Okay, he has a Twitter following, a loyal Twitter following. If he set up something like a Patreon page, he would have monthly income, more monthly income than he would know what to do with. And so think about this from the perspective of the other mods on RGME. They see him every day making these daily updates. They see Warden Elite making his daily updates. Those things are pinned to the top of the page. They're getting tons of upvotes, tons of interactions. Their Twitter followers are growing. Warden Elite's making money, like legitimately making money off of this. And I just want to be on record and say I have no problem with that. I think that is great. But I'm also in a position where I'm picturing the mods of RGME. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I'm just picturing some 20-something-year-old people fresh out of college or in college, maybe even younger than that. And I think about myself back when I was 20 years old. For better or worse, if I was a mod of GME, there at the very least there would have been something inside of me that would have seen these people gaining some kind of fame that I don't have, and I would have been jealous of them. And honestly, I think that when it comes down to it, the other mods were just jealous of Rensole and Warden Elite. And so if there was any, and maybe in a sense that was enough in its own to just be a thing, but then any kind of conflict that came as a result of Rensole interacting with another mod, that little thing, that thing was brewing there, and the frustration caused some kind of an eruption. Because here are these guys leveraging this platform for attention, for a following, and nobody knows who I am, random mod of RGME. I honestly, I don't know who any of the other mods are, but I know Rensole and Warden Elite, and I could see that being frustrating for them. I would have let it slide, and I thought that their contributions were absolutely helpful, and the subreddit was in a very good place. And now, who knows what's going to happen with RGME? But I'm sort of staying subscribed to RGME. I'm subscribed to our Superstock, and we'll see. So, thinking about all this, is this what has caused GameStop's price to go down pre-market? I do not think so, not even a little bit. Maybe it's caused like a few pennies of a swing or something, but no. But the timing is very interesting. I will give credit to that. The timing of all this stuff. I'm not going to give myself to some conspiracy that one of the mods of RGME is a Citadel shill or anything like that. I just don't buy that. If that's what people are willing to think, I'm not willing to think that. What I think is happening is this. GameStop announces preliminary sales results for the first 9 weeks of fiscal 2021, reflecting approximately 11% increase compared to the prior year period. Remember, there's always something you need to keep in mind with earnings reports, and that is if you don't blow away earnings, you expect your stock to go down the next day. And we saw this with GameStop with their Q4 2020 earnings into 2021. We saw their most recent earnings report that there was an estimate of X amount per share, and they came 1 penny below that, and that caused the stock to crash about 50% the next day before rebounding the day after that. And that's very dramatic. That's not usually what happens, but there's plenty of examples of companies posting higher than expected earnings and then the stock price going down the next day, because the general mindset is you buy the rumor and sell the news. And so why would you hold shares then? Because if a company blows away earnings, that stock price is going to shoot up like crazy, and you'll be holding on to it instead of having to buy in at the higher price. So it's a risk. It's a little bit of a gamble. And so for GameStop to announce approximately 11% increase compared to the prior year period, that's not blowing away expectations. And so I think hedge funds are taking that news and using it as an opportunity to spread FUD and to try to tank the stock price. As far as pre-market is concerned, I mean, GameStop's at 173 right now. It seems like they're not being very successful at it. It's like, sure, yeah, I'll buy that dip. But anyway, I think that's what's happening. I don't think that GameStop is in a position right now where they're about to offer more shares to dilute their shares. because, and I think that there is some FUD being created about that, but I really appreciated this comment by you, Call Crabs. They didn't file an ATM offering. They updated an ATM offering. This already happened in December. They filed the same paperwork December 8th to sell a maximum aggregate of 100 million. And now they updated this perspective to $1 billion. That's all that's happening right now. They're not increasing their shares. The MOAS is still on. And so no worries. But, it's funny to see any kind of the Citadel, the hedge funds jumping on any opportunity to try to drive the stock price down. It's like, it's over, guys. Just give up, throw in the towel. If I didn't sell my shares when GameStop went from 480 to 112, and I didn't sell when it went from 350 to 178, I'm not going to sell now that GameStop has gone from 190 to 160 or something like that. But it still feels to me like things are heating up, that the MOAS is coming. I don't know when, I don't know how, but get your popcorn ready because it's going to be epic. But with that in mind, like the channel, so like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I post daily GameStop updates, and wow, what a doozy today was. There's never a dull moment in the GameStop drama. So I hope you have a prosperous day, a prosperous week. I will most certainly be seeing you in another video. Peace.